Hey, this is PJ with CLK Supplies, and welcome back to another episode of Key Machine Battle. Now today we're going to be cutting an edge style key for a file cabinet lock. The code is a 03 E as in Echo. Now we're going to be putting up the standard 1200 Blitz Code Machine up against the Futura, right? So this one's going to really represent the manual code machines, and this is going to represent the automatic code machines. Now, there can be quite the price difference between them. Now, the machines we have sitting here, this one here is going to be right around $2,000. The 1200, and this Futura Pro retails for almost $8,000. Now, there are a bunch of different code machines in both of these brackets here, these types of machines, but I just want to give you just a basic overview of kind of the differences price-wise that we're looking at. Now, I have Shirley, thanks for coming on.
Oh, thank you.
And Amber, thanks for coming on. And so what we'll do is I've set out the keys and everything, and we'll go ahead and we'll cut both of these on the manual and the automatic. And then let's just talk about it for a few minutes about the differences and ease of use, and also what machine you feel like you just trust more while cutting keys. Now I did go ahead for the 1200, I already printed off the cuts for the code. So we're kind of skipping a step there, yeah. But at the same time, we'll be able to just kind of put these up against each other and let's see what happens. So we can go ahead and cut the keys.
Alrighty.
All right, thanks guys.
Thank you.
All right, guys, so now it's important to note that both of you are comfortable with both machines. You both have experience on both of them.
Yes.
Now it looks like, I mean, Amber, it looks like you put it in there and you cut it really quick. It was pretty painless for you. I mean, what are your thoughts on really the differences between the two as far as skill goes?
This one, everything's right here. That you had to go print this, whatnot. Really, it shows everywhere you should be. It shows what jaw, where the clamp should be. As long as you understand what those are compared to what this is down here, then you got it. Okay.
Shirley, how about you? I mean, I saw you over here. You know, Amber and I were kind of chatting while she was cutting her key. You know, and you were kind of hunched over there, spinning those dials.
Spinning away. Yep. You know, for the price, you know, it's not a bad little machine. A little bit more time consuming than the one she's using. You have to cut each individual cut. There is more, I guess, chance for mistakes because this one you're manually doing it yourself. So if you turn a little bit too far, you're going to go too deep or too wide, or you know, whichever way you turn, whichever button. Because I have two different ones, both depth and space.
Okay.
So it just kind of depends.
Okay. Now, how about skill? The skill required to use these machines. What one would you guys each say requires more skill, more training?
I would say this one, the older.
Like, you have to be accurate on where you're at and understand the cards.
You have to understand the cards. You have to read every little detail.
Okay.
Like this one, it gives me, instead of just 6 different cuts, it gives me 12, and I have to know which ones to actually cut on.
Per key, it wants, yeah.
Sure. Now, how about trust, right? I mean, there's always something when you're manually doing something, I feel like you can sometimes like feel more confident with it, where compared to here, you know, you put the key in, you close the shield and hit a button.
Exactly.
What machine do you guys tend to feel like you trust more when you're cutting a key?
I'd say that one, because if you're needing to make an adjustment or anything like that, you can with that one. This one, you put it in and it does its thing, and that's what you got.
Right. Like if you have a really worn lock, You might want to, you know, not cut them quite as deep. The cut's quite as deep. This one, I don't have to cut them quite as deep. I can cut it like 1.5 or a 2 instead of a 2.
Okay.
And therefore, I have more control over my depths.
Okay. Okay. Now, I mean, you could put half, you know, partial cuts in there, you know, if you needed in that software. But yeah, I mean,
Probably I could, yes.
as a whole, it's, you know, you feel like, you know, you have a little more control here.
I do feel I have
Now,
more control.
Let's talk about computer versus kind of non-computer. Now, would you guys consider yourselves people that are real comfortable with computers? Because I think that really kind of plays into it, right? Like if you really like computers, you're probably really going to like cutting keys with computers, right? If you're not really into computers, then I think, you know, more manually might be, you know, what you're more, what you prefer.
This application on hers is so simple. You know, I'm not real comfortable with a lot of computer stuff.
Okay.
This one I have no problem with.
Okay.
You know, so to me, you don't have to be really computer adept. Push a button here, push a button there. Basically, same thing I would have to do on the computer here. So I mean, either one, I'm using a computer. So
that's fair.
I find that one just fine for.
Okay. How about you, Amber?
This one says, because it's digital and a lot of times it's not in my hand physically, I get intimidated.
Okay.
So I can see it on here, but it's not what I see here, or if it is, I don't know if I'm looking at it right. So I kind of tend to go more with the manual. I can feel it, I can have it, I can see it. This is all digital, so I'm doing this and I'm just hoping it's doing its thing and trusting it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so now the last question I got for you guys, which is the big one. If you needed to get a new edge style machine to put in your van, which machine are you going to choose? The manual or the automatic edge style machine?
I would get this one, and then I would just learn what I can do with the software.
Okay.
Because if I can adjust more of the depths and whatnot and learn the software more, then this machine's golden.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
I will agree, because if you're cutting multiple, you know, you can just change the code really fast here. Here you got to recut everything. So in there, if you're cutting one that's got a 3, a 5, and a 6, over here a 3, 5, and a 6, well then the next one you're doing a 3, 5, and a 4. It's so much faster just to hit a button on there than it is to sit and cut them.
Sure. All right, guys, great. Well, you know what? I think this went good. I think we provided some good feedback on both machines and maybe why you'd want to choose one over the other. Thank you guys very much for coming on.
You're welcome.
And we will see you next time.
Nice.
Thanks.
Bye.